So I decided that Brand Bronzebeard is just too good to not play in this deck. And I had to figure out something to cut, so I just cut one of the giants. I figure my deck just makes big dudes anyway. And then it seemed weird to have only one Arcane Giant, so I just cut the other one for a Feral Rage. Maybe with double Feral Rage I can beat aggro.
Malfuria versus Valera.
Watch your back.
I must protect the wild.
I definitely toss back these two cards, I think. Although maybe Wrath is a keep against Rogue now, that the whole pirate package is a thing. I like the idea of coining this on 2 and then playing Jade Spirit on 3. Not sure if I should keep the Wrath. If I keep the Wrath, I can't go for the coin into 4. But I guess I could Wrath on 2 and then like coin this guy out. Why am I disconnected? Okay. So I got disconnected from my game, now I'm back. I was saying Wrath might be pretty good against Rogue now. It didn't used to be because there weren't really targets on turn 2. But now that the pirate package is a thing, maybe I keep it. I would like to go coin Jade Blossom into Jade Spirit. But if I have to play Wrath on 2, then like this is still just fine and as a 3-4. Did it actually mulligan my Feral Rage and I got the other one, or what? So I could even just like coin the Wrath here. If I don't coin the Wrath, that thing's gonna deal 3 damage to me next turn. And I do have a follow-up, kind of, in Shapeshift into Patches. I could also just go with the original plan of coining this into this, and then I'll be on 5 mana the following turn, which could be Feral Rage Wrath. Pointing at the Wrath seems kinda bad. If he's daggering up this turn, that means he's not developing anything else. Which means his board can't really snowball, like, too hard. I'm actually pretty happy to see the fan. He could have just daggered into the 1/1, and that would have been kinda bad for me. So the fact that he spent his entire turn killing it is fine with me. I think I actually want to innervate out the Wrath here. It doesn't really mess up my development at all. And I get to get that stupid 3/2 off the board. Interesting that he chose to clear that one. Azure Drake is better than Nourish. I still get to draw 1 card, plus I get to develop. My next turn looks like it might be kinda slow, but it should be a pretty powerful turn if I'm playing Nourish. And sometimes I Raven Idol into a play, or I have something to Feral Rage. I could even Nourish for mana and play Feral Rage in the same turn, but I would probably only do that if I drew second Nourish or the Auctioneer, because otherwise I can't really take too much advantage of the mana.
This guy's toast.
I can also just go for Hero Power, trade the Azure Drake in, and then play Jade Spirit. It's only a 3/3 that it summons, which is not great. I don't really see another great play here, though. Leaving up Thalnos for a Rogue seems really bad. And this is the only like good 4-mana play along with it, and then at that point you just may as well trade into the SI7 agent.
This guy's toast.
Swipe is pretty good here, but what else do I do with my mana? I guess I would just go for like Jade Idol, Raven Idol. Maybe this is just my Nourish turn. His board doesn't really apply that much pressure. Yeah, and if I can't deal with the SI7 agent and he takes the value trade, then it just dies to swipe. Oh, I could actually innervate a swipe here if I really wanted.
Time waits for no one.
I don't think innervate swipe is worth. Innervate can be really gross with Fandral next turn. And all I'm really protecting here is just a River Croc on board. Not particularly impactful. Keeping the Innervate my next turn can be Fandral, Feral Rage, Jade Idol, Raven Idol. I feel like I should definitely do something with Fandral this turn. Is N'Zoth any good? Gets back Aya. I'll just take a taunt. Make it a little bit more difficult for him to kill me. Power of the Wild good here? Probably not really. Seems like the Feral Rage is just pretty good. If I go for Power of the Wild, I can go Power of the Wild Jade Idol this turn, but then I can't kill the SI7 agent, which I would like to kill. Oh, I guess I could Innervate out the hero power. Would that even be better than just playing Feral Rage, though? I think I like the Power of the Wild. Oh yeah, I actually forgot that I get a Golem for the Power of the Wild too, so I think this is way better. I got to make a pretty solid board this turn. Fandral is kind of a must-kill, and I have a ton of damage in my hand. And I have a good defensive play with Crazed Worshipper. Am I really dead at 18? He's seen 15 cards and he has Leroy, Double Prep, Cold Blood. Oh, okay. Oh, the all-in. Alright, I was about to be pretty salty, but it looks like I won. What is this? 14 on board, so this is like super lethal. Yeah, I think I was 5 over there if I hero powered.
Malfurion versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine. I must protect the wild.
I probably don't actually keep Jade Idol in the opener, do I? I'm assuming he's Reno Warlock, as most Warlocks are right now, so I probably just really want my ramp. I think I've heard that this is a bad matchup, but Reno Warlock is a much more difficult deck to play. So maybe I'll win because I'm playing Druid and he's not. Coin Wild Growth is sometimes a valid play. Like, you might do it against Shaman here because then you could Feral Rage down the Totem Golem. It would allow me to just play the Bran Bronzebeard on curve, but Bran has a lot more value later on.
Buying or selling. I wonder.
So the plays here are Wild Growth, or coin one of my 3s, and coin either of the 3s seems really bad, so we'll just play arguably the best 2-mana card in the game. Fandral just dies on board, which is kind of a bummer, but Jade Spirit doesn't even contest both of these. I'll probably be left with a 3/1 Ooze. I can hero power into it, but it's a bit awkward. I guess my turn could be like Nourish for mana and then hero power into it, but that's still not great. Or I guess he would have a 2/1 Peddler, not the 3/1 Ooze. I'd also just coin Azure Drake here. Let's just start doing some Jade things.
Shields up.
That seems like kind of a weird play to me. He's giving me the opportunity to take a value trade on the Peddler. And I think I will take the value trade on the Peddler. I'd really like to hero power this guy down. Maybe I hero power it and coin Fandral. If Fandral lives, there's so much payoff with Nourish. I'm not sure that I really want to Nourish next turn. Maybe I just go Fandral Nourish on turn 8. Maybe I just play Bran here. It's not obvious that he can deal with it. If it's Demon Wrath, it kills his Sun Fury also. And if Bran lives, I have Jade Behemoth on curve. I think Bran is pretty good here. So he did have an okay answer to it, but it still took up his entire turn. My turn here can either just be Slam Jade Behemoth. I can also just go Azure Drake, coin hero power into this, but the 2-1 is much less threatening than the 3-1 was. I kind of like saving the coin so my turn 8 can be Fandral Nourish.
Time waits for no one.
I think I'll just play this thing. It puts stats on the board. The 3-6 deals with the 2-1 pretty well.
Funnel cakes! Get your funnel cakes here!
I can go for an Azure Drake Wrath here. Lets me bump in and kill this guy. I'll have a 3-3 to contest his guy. Get to keep my 2-2 alive and have an Azure Drake on board. If he spends his turn removing that, I can go for the Fandral Nourish thing next turn. I could also just go Fandral, Wrath, Raven Idol this turn. It's actually a pretty nice turn. I deal 4 to this. I guess I would have to trade in my dude, but that's kind of fine. It's not obvious that he would be able to deal with the Fandral. Let's just go for the Fandral. Getting the mana from the Nourish next turn isn't really that important. Do I take May or Noggin Fogger?
Time waits for no one.
I'm pretty sure this is incorrect, but I'm gonna take it. Because I'm not a coward. Take Starfire. Did I get my attack off? I heard the trumpet. Oh, that's BS. That Jade Idol was like the best draw in my deck, by the way. This attack doesn't really matter too much, I guess. It's kind of bad. It leaves him open to a power overwhelming Shadow Flame play. I guess it was my fault for going for Jade Idol before my attacks, because it put the garbage in front of my board so I couldn't declare my attack.
I'm not ready.
Is Second Rate Bruiser actually good enough for that deck?
Almost out of time. The end is coming!
I feel like playing the Jade Idol here is so good. I kinda want to go for Nourish too. Leaves me on 5 mana. So maybe it's just Nourish Azure Drake this turn. No, because then I don't actually have damage. I think Nourish is just so good though. So like Wrath, Hero Power, kill this guy, Jade Idol. Seems good. Feral Rage was pretty good there too, but I'm not really under much pressure at all. It's a little bit of a heavy board commitment playing this 4-4 here, but I do shuffle the things back into my deck anyway, so it's not really like an overall resource investment. Plus I have things in my hand to refuel, and even if it dies, it accelerates my Jade Golems. Alright, that definitely could have gone worse for me. So Fandral is still alive for some reason. Unfortunately, I don't have mana for Drake Starfire. I could do some Auctioneer stuff here, but maybe that's my endgame, if we get that far. I could also just like Starfire Hero Power into this thing. 6 damage is kind of a lot though, considering a lot of these decks play a Leroy combo. Probably just go for like Drake, Feral Rage, and send this guy in, I guess. That's only 8 mana. Do I cycle my Wild Growth along with it, or save it for Gadget's Hand? Let's go with the Drake. Maybe I draw a Jade Idol. Oh, maybe I just play Starfire. And draw a Jade Idol. Oh, I messed up. Played the Jade Idol first. Could have missed attacks. So he could have Twisting Nether. He didn't play Twisting Nether last turn. He probably would have Twisting Nether to kill these two guys. Fandral is pretty scary. Not sure if he would have. Okay, that's a second Mortal Coil, but that's a Peddler Mortal Coil. I mean, he's playing Reno, right? They're all playing Reno. 40% of my deck is Jade Idols right now. Oh wow, that's pretty risky. 5, 10, 17. Let's hope I did the math right. Didn't even get to play the mayor.